Hey.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Crossover Cinema Podcast. We're here reviewing films, series, media releases. If it's the first time you're here, let us introduce ourselves real quick. My name is Carlo.
And I'm Kaya, y'all. You already know we're reviewing the penultimate episode of The Penguin Top Hat, in which we got the full origin story of Oswald Cobblepot, along with some key revelations with Sophia, Sal dying from a heart attack, and everything just going buck wild in Point Crown. Let's get right into it.
Let's get right into it, but let's start with the origin of Penguin, the beginning of the episode. Episode 7, a strong episode. Seriously,
Extremely.
I love that episode. But let's start with the Penguin that's just literally a psycho.
A villain. A straight up villain.
Really, straight up villain since the birth. My God.
Carrying on from when we watched Agatha recently, it's like we're just getting straight villains now in a lot of media. And I feel like Penguin is no exception. We're seeing it in its full form, in the sense of like he wasn't just molded into this. There's a lot of genuine motivation on his own part, an Oedipus complex. The want for his mother's attention only, and nobody else to have it. There's so many factors that kind of play into his villainy, and it's like this origin is balls to the wall, kind of just like straight fucked up. That's like the best.
No,
way to put it.
it's strange and it's unhealthy. I think the whole episode for me was a lot about healthcare, about mental care.
Yep.
Like we saw a lot about situations that were psychosis or that were at the end of their trauma. Like
the toxicity, you mean, in a lot of respects, like inherently toxic, like family relationships we're seeing displayed, whether it's Sophia and Gia, whether it's Oz and his mother,
Francis.
I feel like
exactly. Like
We're
it's
really
a lot of
seeing
mental issues, and we see like this side of it that it's really not good. Let's go back. Like he just closed the door and left them there.
Like,
And-
it's this impulse thing that I think they showed from the start. I think
and
when he
he
killed
never
Alberto,
stopped it,
right? Like when he killed Alberto, for example, it was an insult that kind of instigated that moment, that impulse of like, fuck you, bang, 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 bang. Ah, shit, I killed the guy. Now we're going to start this whole series,
Yeah,
right?
now
And
the
I feel like
trouble is starting.
here, exactly, but here we're getting more of I think, an understanding of where those impulses come from. And I think in a lot of respects that he's always moved like that. This kind of like, you slight him, you piss him off, you
And
kind
he
of
goes in revenge mode right away.
like encouraging the limitations that he had as someone who's disabled.
No, it's his excuse
so
to be
interesting.
that mean, and that's where it's interesting. Like if you never get stopped and you just go at the end of it every time, and you think that everything owns you, like you own everything, like for you, because of your disability, he's allowed to do whatever. And like I don't know, it's like that mental side of it that is a young side of thinking. I don't know if you know what
it's
I mean.
very
Like,
much it's very much reflective of his immaturity, the insecurities
Exactly.
he has, and I think in a lot of respects he kind of never let those things go, and they only got kind of exacerbated by his relationship with his mother after the fact. Because as you can see, like that scene where she takes him out to dance, yes, it's his dream, right, to like go out with his mom and have a good time and whatnot, but it's almost like it's more for her than it is for him. And when she says to him, like, promise me you'll get me everything that I deserve, I'm owed this, it's like this carry on over into his brain. And you can see how Sophia kind of interprets that. And she's like, oh, you created this monster inherently, and you have no shame about it. If anything, you're kind of proud that he is as ruthless and as cutthroat as he is. The way she was coming at Sophia in that room, ooh!
No, it was chilling. But after we saw when she went in another like kind of mode, and she was like maybe in the dementia situation, and when she went back and thought that she was waiting her kids, that it was too long, and you see where it comes, and it's like
It's heartbreaking in a lot of respects.
You have pity, but at the same time you're like, just kill her. like it's crazy.
in the sort of sense where she's kind of like looking at it like, I don't even want to be here, almost like I'm not able to appreciate my life fully. And she already said to Oz in the last episode that there's this kind of like tension with that. But then I think at the same time, we're kind of realizing that for her, she's not in a position to like even have the mental faculties to like facilitate all those sorts of things. It's like she's starting to realize I'm done. And it's like when she breaks, right? She breaks. She really comes crashing down. But then when she finally she reforms, she turns around, smack. You know what I mean? Like whippersnapper. I love that kind of that like throwing back and forth. That like it's like it's a crazy flow of things for her. Like her brain is literally chaos.
Yeah, and it justifies really well why Oswald is able to be where he is today. Like that's who he was. Like who he was raised upon.
Who he was embodying, exactly.
Yeah. I want to go with another great unexpected way to die in that series. Let's talk about Sal. That was like just... that scene could have been really like cliche, or it could have been not well received, but it was really well done. It was perfect. Like, and we got just that little like piece of information about like Penguin, that how he talked about his wife was enough to make him go with that heart attack and just
instigated all
really well done.
All up.
Like,
in a lot of respects, I feel like they could have maybe over the season played up maybe Sal taking some medication in prison just to kind of like set up that moment so that it doesn't feel so spontaneous. But there's a comedy to it, and a real like dark comedy. Like this old geezer mob boss is like fighting this like disabled, you know, criminal villain who there was back and forth punching each other in the ribs and just
no, but he had everything. He was at the end. Sal was at the end, just getting his redemption, and we know that the Penguin will not die. So it's just how will Sal die, you know, at the end. That's how I saw it. In a lot of respects,
you're thinking a stabbing. You're thinking he's going to get shot and he's going to turn around, you know.
Or he's not dying right now.
I'm keeling over. My heart is hurting. And you're like, okay, and he just dies.
That's a hard way to sell it to a public. Like, the actor did a great job.
Shouts out Clancy Brown, Mr. Krabs, bro. You legit, bro. You legit.
You're legit.
And you know what? I'll take it even a step further. I think Colin Farrell sells that scene even more than just like the blocking and the framing of it. Like the way it's filmed, you're almost like you're in that moment with him. Like, is he really? Is it? What? Oh, you're dead? Oh, come on! Like, you know, like,
no, it's a great
we're supposed
way
to have
do
a moment. We're supposed to have this back and forth smack.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to shoot you. It's supposed to be epic. What are you doing here? You know what I mean? Like that kind of energy.
Comic side of it, like the comic side of it, went out of that series, where at the beginning we were in a trauma kind of place. I don't know, it was really more realistic. I don't know, it goes back and forth nonstop.
It's balancing that comic book tone that you expect, I think, with a property like this, while also kind of blending just like regular sensibilities you would expect from just like drama cinema and drama TV. And I feel like you're getting that balance. You're getting the like tension that is coming from all these situations. You're getting the humor that can come from it when there's this spontaneous death. You're also getting just actual action, you know, the lights closing off, everybody's popping shots, you know, running through.
Exactly.
Like it feels
very comic booky.
Very comic booky, but in a way where it's all carefully placed. Like the tonal shifts happen in a way that feel natural. They feel like they add to the plot, and they're never taking away from the moment. They're always subverting the expectation yet again. And it's like, even with this episode, no deaths on Oz's side of the team kind of adds to the tension for next episode, where you're anticipating now he does have to have some sort of suffering. And I feel like teasing the cliffhanger last episode and making people sit with a week thinking that this was going to happen, and then kind of just flipping on his head right away and be like, no, Victor's okay, he's a little messed up, but it's really about the breakdown of Oz overall, and seeing how he can now fully become the Penguin that we all envision him to be. He's literally like around the corner from it.
Yeah, but that ending was really great. I love the fact that Sophia just destroyed everything. She don't care about all that money.
She's not playing the game anymore.
It's
not like that.
No, but it's not about that. And Oz really tried to convince her all along that that's what she wanted. But at that episode, we really understand, like, shut up with your drug and everything. Like, you don't know me, you don't know nothing. I'm gonna just destroy half of Gotham.
Independence, bro. Independence.
But I'm just gonna do whatever, and I like that. Like, it really turned out. Where's Bliss? Where's the Bliss now? Where's the product?
It's almost everything? Like none of that matters now. Yeah, it's really just about this personal war between these two people, and she's taking it away from the, I think, glitz and, you know, glamour that comes with the gang life. Like, she's like, listen, we could play this whole game. You know, I can bring my goons. We can have a shootout. It can be really bloody. But why don't I just level your whole block? Why not that? Because that's not like, you know, I feel like this is the thing with the Batman universe, the Batman epic crime saga. Like, this whole universe for me works because it feels like a constant escalation. She didn't think to herself, I could just blow up his area with some light C4 or 1-2. She said, no, let me load the truck with as much C4 that can level a whole block, and probably essentially committed a large scale terrorist attack. Like, at the end of the day, I feel like that's the level that Batman starts to deal with these villains. And I feel like these shows are allowing these villains to become the level of where he's like, nah, I gotta come in here because you're blowing up city blocks. We can't have it like this. No.
It's seriously great. I don't know, Kaya, if you had another point you wanted to bring before we wrap this.
I really just want to address Sophia and her little moment with Gia. I think that moment is more pivotal than her conversation with Penguin's mother, because I feel like when she's talking to Francis, it's almost like an empathy and a sympathy is happening for the situation that Penguin comes from, not Penguin himself, but the everything of it. And then at the same time, Gia is kind of like I guess the opposite, not the opposite, but a juxtaposition from what Penguin as a youth was dealing with, and Sophia knowing that she facilitated that trauma for her, and now she's hurting herself and, you know, self-harming. There's so many aspects to it, I feel like, are morphing Sophia into this full-fledged villain. Like, she found a way to justify it, and she still tried to tell her it's all good, but at the end of the day, it is your fault. Yes, her mother sucked and they did you dirty, but, you know, that wasn't her life, you know, and her trauma is not yours, and now your trauma is hers.
Yeah, so, and Sophia really is trying to not, like, she's trying to, like, show that it's not going to be the same thing for her, but it's exactly going to be the same thing. And I'm pretty sure Gia's going to come for Sophia in a future instance.
Ooh,
you know what I mean? Like, or maybe go there. It's a kind of villain that comes back because you killed my father, you killed my mother, and actually, I just want vengeance, and I don't understand what happened, and
I don't think so.
We could see that, but it's not. But
I don't think so. You know why? Not because that point.
We're not going to see it, but we feel that.
Well, that's the thing. There's a feeling there, right? But not because I think that can't work. I think that's too expected. You would expect this kind of Kill Bill energy, like, you killed my mom, I'm coming back for you, right? At some point in the future. But I feel like instead we're seeing possibly that Gia is going to be molded by Sophia, kind of like a protege to kind of become.
You think that was my second thought. Maybe she's going to go with Sophia.
And then in a lot of respects, it's Sophia,
like the daughter she never had.
Exactly. And I feel like in a lot of respects, it's Sophia's way of redeeming herself, redeeming that situation, because she feels a certain, like, you know, guilt for what she's done. And I feel like that's a guilt that's not associated with a lot of characters here, because everybody here kind of just like sheds the guilt. And she still has this humanity to her because of what's been done to her that I think is still there underlying, but she's losing it every second. And she just leveled a square block. It's I think she's done the descent fully into villainy, I'm excited to see it kind of compare to Oz next episode.
Yeah, I can't wait for the next episode. Seriously, we talk about a lot of all the actresses and all the characters, but Mr. Farrell, seriously, he's doing an amazing job. I can't wait to see the next episode. Seriously,
Sal. Come on.
Oh yeah.
We're supposed to fight. We're supposed to be
seriously,
you know,
I just remember him in Daredevil when he had that.
Oh my God, no.
Here.
We don't talk
about
what I mean.
I know, but you know, like, for me, I know that it's very hard for him to play too. That's what we see a lot, like, just turning
the makeup, all the stuff. Absolutely,
it's very hard, but seriously, it's worth it. I'm pretty sure he's gonna need to do another season like that. But
we definitely need some more. I really am just looking forward to how they kind of wrap up this epic battle between him and Sophia.
It's not gonna be wrapped up, bro. For sure, we're gonna
I think
want
we're
more.
Gonna get something definitive. I think we're gonna
have a battle, but it's not gonna be the ending.
I don't think we're gonna get House of the Dragon. I think we're gonna get
no. We're not gonna get House of the Dragon.
no blue balls. I think we're gonna get a full ending here, and I think that it's gonna set up a inevitable reappearance from both of these characters, and maybe just the rest of the cast of characters in the inevitable Batman Part 2. You already know.
Maybe, man, maybe.
Looking
That's
forward
it.
to
Thank
it.
you guys being there. It's really appreciated every time.
Real talk.
If you like and subscribe, we see it, we like it. Thank you guys joining us.
That's it. You already know. And on the next Crossover Cinema podcast, when we review the finale of Penguin, we're ready, ladies and gentlemen. You already know. See you guys next time on Crossover Cinema Podcast. Ciao.
Guys.